Hey guys, this is Bunky. Welcome to State of the Realm Beta Edition, Episode 4, Content. So we're going to start off going over the PVM and crafting portions of the content, and then we'll finish off going over the PvP portions. I'm not going to talk about the guild or gear score or monster level systems. We have previous State of the Realms that cover that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in looking at those, I recommend you check out these previous videos. But we'll start off with the harvesting, mining nodes, and trees system. So as you can see here, most of the trees in the world that we have are actually dynamically spawning trees. So you can harvest them, they'll grow back, you can completely chop them down, you can place houses over the trees that you chop down, and then there's different stages as you chop them down as well. So let's go ahead and I'll show you a few of those. So as you can see, you're chopping down here, and you can see it's relatively slow to start off, but once you start building up your skill and building up your harvesting speed, that accelerates a lot. And I'll show you an example of that after. As you can see right now, you don't see any more trees here. You can go ahead and just place a house. So let's go place a house here. And there you go. You now have a house in a spot where a tree was. And let's go ahead and demolish this for demonstration purposes. And I'll force some regen on this tree so you can see what's going on. But eventually the tree will turn into a sapling again if there's nothing impeding it, so if there's no house placed over it or anything like that. Then you'd have to wait basically for the health to completely regenerate, and once that happens, it turns into a big tree again that you can harvest and its resources reset. And then we also have different types of harvesting gear as well that you can get if you start specializing into something like lumberjacking or mining. You can actually do resource order deeds to get satchels that can give you chances of getting these, and it'll increase the XP on your lumberjacking talisman. And as you keep progressing your talisman, you'll keep getting more skill, you'll keep unlocking better satchel opportunities and better gear. So let's put on all of our harvesting speed gear. And you can see that you'll get a little bit more speed. And then you can get buffs and all that stuff to increase even more. But yeah. We also have harvest veins. So these are similar to the trees. We still have the mining of mountain sides and cave floors and all that kind of stuff, but this is a supplemental thing that you can do. And these really just give you higher resource yields that are not iron. So higher chance of spawning those, and a little bit more resources as well when you see them. So there you go, same as the other stuff. Yep, and then like I said, you can specialize in these. You can get double harvest procs. You can get rare harvest procs, rare ingredients, like gems and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of those are used in special crafting recipes. Okay. So next we can go over death and durability decay. So I'll go ahead and try to attack this healer here, who will beat me up. And then what we have, and I'll explain it a little bit, is our durability system. Basically, you don't lose durability as you get hit or as you attack people or whatever like you normally would. You only lose durability when you die. So when you die, you lose a percentage of your durability, and in the case that some of your items are broken or some of your items are damaged, you'll actually get this little gump appearing. You can see it a little bit better on the right side of the screen, or if there's any black. But this guy appears just to show you that hey, your items are either broken or they are in danger of being broken, and you'll get some messages that appear as well. The other thing to take note of is that when you die, you actually don't drop any of the gear that you had on. So you will actually remain as a ghost with your gear on that was equipped on you. If there's anything in your bags, you'd still have to insure those. But if there was anything basically that was on your body, you don't have to worry about insuring them. I still recommend you insure them just in case you get disarmed or something like that, but you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Another thing is all of the armor that we have in the game. So if it's made from tailoring, so normal leather, studded leather, bone, that's all mettable. So we've separated basically the tailoring made to the blacksmithy made. So tailoring is all mettable and blacksmithy is non-mettable. And then let's go into the reputation system. So you can use the command reputation or rep, and it'll bring up this UI. Let's actually go to the savages area, and as you become friendly with these guys, so which is 20,000 reputation, you start becoming friendly, and you can actually walk among them, and they won't actually attack you. So another cool way to RP into things. That's a plague spawn, so that will attack me, but the savages themselves will not. And then you can also start purchasing from their quartermasters. Every reputation has a quartermaster. So once you've gotten enough, which is maxed out with Exalted, you can go into these and you can buy. And for this case, this guy is selling a bloody face mask, hair dyes, and a spell hue scroll. So I'll go ahead and buy those. And what I will show you next is the rewards menu. Okay. So what you have here is the ability to collect different types of rewards. So you have your hair dyes, your facial hair dyes, your body hues, your items, your transmog items, and then your ethereals as well. So say right now I wanted to change my hair because I don't like the way it looks. I can just go and change color. And you will automatically be able to keep changing back and forth through these. Facial hair if you have it. And then another cool thing that we do is say you claimed that bloody face mask, right? So say you claimed the bloody face mask, but you lose it. So for whatever reason you deleted it or you lost it, and you can't trade these, so it won't work if you try to trade them. But say you deleted it for whatever reason. And then you go back to your items. You can actually recover the item, and then it goes right back into your backpack, and you can use it again. These sandals got deleted at some point, so you can go ahead and do that as well. And you have the sandals back here. And then another thing that we added is the ethereals. So right now I have an ethereal keeper in my backpack. That ethereal keeper is basically, it functions the same way that all ethereals functioned back, normally. But it's a little bit different here. So you can actually collect the ethereals, and these are all account bound, right? So this entire menu is account bound. So you can collect a whole bunch of different ethereals. Say you want to use the llama instead of the ostrich. You can go ahead and mount that up, and now you are on the llama. If you want to change that to an ostrich, you go ahead and do that as well. And then you won't see it in your bag now, but once you dismount, you'll have that keeper item in your backpack. Yep, so you can collect as many ethereals as you want. You can use them on multiple characters. You don't have to worry about getting 5 different ones for all your characters. Yeah. And then that brings us to taming. Let's go to taming. So for the taming portion, you can tame creatures and you can level them up. And as you level them up, they increase in power. For instance, let's tame this dragon. Right, so you'll see he's level 1 out of 15. The max you can go to is 15. As you progress the experience, you'll just level up that way. These guys are fighting each other. So the other thing that we have, say we go to level, say we bring this guy to level 15. At a certain level, they'll auto bond. So the dragon is 2 followers plus the 3 that it is, so it would take 5 to auto bond. But now that we're max level, we have a system called the draw system. So once you have enough skill and you get them to level 15, you can actually draw the abilities. So say I want to draw the Inferno ability off of this dragon. A lot of pets have completely unique abilities, so and you can mix and match them. So right now I took the Inferno ability, and I want to get rid of this dragon, and then I want, let's see, this monster has the Firebolt's ability. So let's go ahead and tame this guy. Perfect. Okay. So let's do level 15. For demonstration purposes, I'll just show you guys. Now I'm going to grab the Firebolt's ability off this one. Okay. And we'll remove this guy, and I will just tame these two. Okay, we'll set them to level 15. But now I can go into the lore menu, and this guy has, if you can see here, he's got 2 ability spots that you can teach. So what we'll do is we'll double click these books, and we can teach that pet that ability. And there we go. So this pet now has Angry Fire, Inferno, and Firebolt's ability. And one of the cool things that you can do here is you can mix and match whatever abilities you want, but you can also think about different other things. This guy does mostly fire damage, right? These fire steeds. And all my abilities here are actually fire related, and Inferno lowers the opponent's fire resistances. So not only are you doing a lot more damage because it's all fire damage from the abilities, but you're actually doing even more damage because you're lowering the resistances, which causes your pets to deal more damage normally, and the abilities do more damage on top of that. Yeah, so that is the taming system in itself. Let's go to summoning and summon creature. So we enhance the summon creature system to work based off of the taming system. So if you cast a summon creature spell, you'll get a UI, and you'll be able to summon a whole bunch of different creatures. And you'll be able to you summon them, you'll be able to go fight them. They'll also level up, and you can master them. As you master them, so say you want to summon, or say you want to use the cave bear. So the cave bear requires you to have mastered the black bear and the grizzly bear. And I don't have access to this right now because I don't have the grizzly bear at a mastered state. So once I do that, I'll be able to use the cave bear. There's about 4 or 5 that don't require anything to be mastered, and you actually learn a lot of these creatures just by fighting them. So most of them you learn by fighting. They'll just automatically, your character will learn how to summon them. But others you'll actually drop an idol, and that idol will be the thing that you use to consume. So you can sell that idol to other people so that they can learn how to summon that creature as well. So as you go through and you summon them, they'll automatically gain their experience and their level. You'll get a buff that says how long that'll last for. And yeah, so the UI itself will show you how many follower slots it takes and all that kind of stuff. So, and the duration. So if you mouse over here, it says this summon consumes 2 slots and the duration is 14 minutes. Another thing that we have is, and there's a lot of stuff, Another thing that we have are the specialization talismans. So like you were able to specialize as a harvester or a lumberjack, you'll be able to do that with crafting, and you'll be able to do that with some combat skills. So right now I already have one preset. This one's a mage specialization. It's already level 10. Level 10 pretty much affords you 2 spell morphs for this one and a slayer. So you could put a slayer in there, and you could put 2 spell morphs. And what the spell morphs do is they have a chance to trigger like an added effect to whatever spell you have in there. So for instance, for this one we have Flame Strike and Energy Vortex, and we will turn to a player and start casting Flame Strike and hope that we get a morph. There we go. So this Flame Strike morph is going to augment it so it does a giant AoE with a whole bunch more damage. There we go. And then we also have a Energy Vortex morph. So this guy will basically create a Mega Vortex. There we go. So now we have a Mega Vortex. As you can see, considerably more damage. Yep. So that is the spell morphs for magery. We have them for necromancy, we have them for paladins. The warrior specialization talismans, those basically allow you to set a weapon ability on the talisman. So say you wanted to do like a double whirlwind, you could add frenzied whirlwind and just the regular whirlwind, which will give you a chance to proc those abilities when you attack something. So for warrior, that kind of stuff is really powerful. All right, and then we'll go into the crafting talismans. So you can also specialize in crafting. So say I wanted to be a blacksmith. I can essentially go to a blacksmith who's got the exclamation mark sitting there letting me know that, hey, I can specialize now. So you double click him, you'll get a message that says, hey, you know, you can specialize, would you like to? You do it, you get your little talisman, and then as you craft things, you will level up your talisman. That is the only way that you can increase your skill to 120 skill. You have to level up the talisman to do that. So you can do that just by crafting normal things. You can do that by going to a war effort quartermaster and picking up satchels. So for instance, if I go to Britain and I go to this war effort quartermaster, because I'm specialized now, he'll have an option for me. He gave me a relief effort crate, which is pretty good for starting off, but gives me a large blacksmith satchel for completing it, and these satchels have rare recipes for blacksmiths. They have rare deco pieces, rare aesthetic items, and then some gold as well. So as you complete those, that's what you would do to get additional XP for your talisman as well. And then you'll need these to also get recipes for the artifacts. So in order to craft artifacts, you will essentially have to kill champ spawns. The champ spawns have a rare chance to drop artifact plans. You'd bring those artifact plans to a crafter who has specialized. So if you want the Inquisitor's Resolution gloves, you'd have to go to a crafter who's specialized in blacksmithy and who's obtained the recipe for that artifact, and you'd give him the artifact plans tiered for that one. So those would be tier 3 because they're really good gloves. So you give him those, and then he can craft you the gloves. And you will need artifact plans for every single one. Okay, and then every skill has their specialization. So we can go into the specialization for tinkering. So let's add some tinker's tools. For tinkering, let's specialize. Add a tinker. We'll change our specialization. If you change your specialization, you will lose progress on your talisman. So if you go from a blacksmith and you have a level 20 blacksmithing talisman, you'll lose it all. So only specialize in one thing. Otherwise, you will lose progress on it. If you want to change, that's fine though, if you understand that. So, tinkering has the ability to actually create golems now, more than before. So before you'd have just a normal golem, now you have a whole bunch of golems that you can craft. So let's go ahead. Right now we can craft a flesh golem. Okay, there you go. And then you also have repair kits, so you can't just heal your golem with bandages or mage or anything like that. You actually have to craft repair kits in order to heal them. And then you have certain buff items too, like a Draco Fury Booster buffs their stamina, so it gives them full stamina again, so they attack a lot faster. And then you can also res them with a reassembly kit, or you can go to a tinker to res them as well. So that's tinkering and golems. Cooking has its own set of things too. If you specialize into cooking, you'll have the ability to create feasts, and feasts just give some pretty powerful buffs to players. So for instance, let's do, let's see here, I'll need to go to a oven. Let's go here, create some lucky rolls. And the lucky rolls here give 50 luck for 60 minutes. So these are really powerful. You can sell them to everybody. Everybody's going to need these buffs. Everybody's going to want these buffs. So it's a pretty good revenue opportunity. Then we can go into alchemy. So alchemy has the ability to make flasks and transmute. So you go into the flasks category here, and you could start seeing flask of firepower, poison, cold, and then defenses as well. We recategorized everything to make it a little bit easier to read through. But say you wanted to do flask of firepower, you can craft that. You'll get your firepower flask. When you double click it, you'll get the plus power buff, and yeah, that will last for about 30 minutes. And then we also have the inscription and master scroll system. So master scrolls was something that we kind of borrowed the idea from IPY back in the day. And that is essentially, they'll come normally with like 20 to 25 charges on there, and then a free scroll. So as you can see here, it says free scroll available. Basically, you will need, for all of level 7 and level 8 spells besides Resurrection and Mana Vampire, you will need to craft them, and you will need to use charges on a Master Scroll. So the first one is always free because you need the spell to actually craft the spells. So you double click it, you put in your spell book, and then you can start trying to craft it. And every time you try to craft, it'll consume a charge on your Master Scroll. These Master Scrolls are found from various monsters in the game, rarely, and then also Paragons above 150 monster level have a chance of dropping them as well. Okay, and then fishing. Let's go to fishing here. So the world can randomly have these sunken ships just randomly out in the water. When you encounter one of these ships, you can actually specialize in fishing, and when you fish in the vicinity of this sunken ship, you'll see that you start angering all these guys, and you start pulling up a whole bunch of chests. And then as you fish more, you pull up the chests from underwater. So you're actively fishing right now, pulling it up and reeling it in. And that's how you basically are able to grab the chests. So this one spawned at level 3. It has 0 luck because right now I'm not wearing any luck, but it travels with the fisherman. You have to kill all these guys though, so you can't just pick the chests. You have to go through, kill all these guys, and then you'll have access to the chests. Alright, and the last PVM content we're going to go over is the Dungeon of the Day. So you can check the Dungeon of the Day by mousing over a town crier anywhere in the world, or visiting the active Dungeon of the Day's dungeon entrance. That will also show you their banner that has the same information. So for instance, this town crier shows that the dungeon today is wrong. It's at tier 6 out of tier 7, and it also shows any active bonuses if there are any. And you get active bonuses by leveling up the dungeon. So it's really like a group effort. You're not going to really do anything just by one person, but you'll get better loot and everything as a server if you guys collectively go in and just kill all the monsters in there. But that also gives more risk because you're now a target from PKs and all that other stuff. So let's go to run. If you enter it, you'll get into that message that says you've entered the dungeon of the day. But you can go outside the dungeon itself, and you'll see that there is a banner here. And that banner tells you the gear score levels for the dungeon for each level, as well as if it's dungeon of the day, it'll show you all the information that you need, as well as the active bonuses as well. And with that, and then once you actually get to tier 7, tier 7 is the last tier, and it spawns a very, very difficult boss, and that boss can only spawn once a day. So just in the dungeon of the day, if you get it to tier 7 as a server, then it'll spawn that boss, and you could collectively try to kill it. It's very difficult, so it won't be happening first few probably weeks of launch, but afterwards probably. Right, and let's start going into PvP. Every guild has a militia, and you can go through your guild tab and join the militia here. So every guild who has, so opposing guilds that have a player in the militia, those players are going to be, they're going to be orange to each other, right? So you'll be able to freely attack them wherever and whenever you want. So if you want to PvP random people, not have to worry about anything, join the militia. If you do stuff, so we have these town and dungeon capturing altars. So say I want to go to, let's go to the town capture. So this is Britain's altar. So as you go through as a player, you can walk on these and you will start capturing the altar itself. Once you get to 100%, that altar is captured. You have a protection period for a certain amount of time where no one else can contest it. And you could just, chill, go AFK, do whatever you need to do. It's usually like an hour for big capture points like Britain. For dungeons, it's usually around like 10 minutes. But these capturing these really rewards your guild with a lot of guild resources like gold and guild XP as well. So it's really lucrative to do that. This is how you can be able to purchase the perks and all that kind of stuff that really progress your guild and your characters. We also have the ability to capture dungeons as well, and this kind of functions the same way. So you go to many dungeons in the world and you'll have these little altars here. Once you capture the dungeon, you'll actually get some buffs for your character as well. So you'll get gold gain buffs and some other buffs as well. And then another thing that we have is, aside from all that, is we have a serial killer system. So as a murderer, this is kind of our pro and anti-murderer approach. So as you continually kill people without dying, you'll gain serial kills. And the more people you kill without dying, the more serial kills you'll get, and the more harsher penalties you'll get when you actually get killed by a blue character. So, as you keep building your serial kills, you might have to either pay more gold to res, or you might have to, you can restrict your flagging, so you can't flag on people for a longer period of time. You could take stat loss if you want to, or you can pay bloody teeth as well, and that's the currency you get from doing PvP events. But essentially, the more you have of the serial kills, the harsher the penalty is. But alternatively, the more serial kills you have, your name starts appearing differently. You'll start getting like a glow around your name. Your name will be colored differently as characters are approaching, or as you're approaching other people, your name will be highlighted differently on screen. And then when you mouse over, it'll show your serial kills with a title as well. So that's something that is like a prestigious thing. But we don't want you to just kill everybody. We deter that with, having those harsh penalties when you res. But it also is like a prestigious thing for you to show off as well. All right, and then we also have the Battle for Buck's Den, which is a event that happens usually every week, and that is a Buck's Den capture altar. This event's a little bit different because when you die, you actually explode. Like your whole body explodes and you get sent back to Britain, and you can't go back to Buck's Den for another 3 minutes. And there's a portal in Britain that appears that you can go into to go back here, but it won't let you go back for 3 minutes. And the guild that captures the altar gets bloody teeth, they get event tokens, and then they get guild currency and guild gold and guild experience and all that kind of stuff. So this is a huge, it's probably like one of the biggest events for PvP specifically to benefit your guild. So this and previous iterations that I've had has always been like a really popular event, so I expect this event to be extremely popular as well. And then other stuff for PvP, we will be having a bunch of capture the flag altars. So these are different arenas essentially for capture the flag, and we have 3 of them. And there's different little PvP things. Most of these are made so there's multiple ways to get to a path, so you don't have to, it's not just like some monotonous back and forth. Right, and then last one here is this guy. This one's just like a giant U. There you go. And then we also have some arenas here. So these are our 1v1 arenas, and then also our arena system as well as here. These are smaller arenas, and then our bigger arena. And this one we'll hold for tournaments or 2v2s. So yeah, that is our content. There's a bunch of it. I didn't go over everything. There's a lot more. We have all these different vendors that you can purchase from. There's a ton of different content. I only went over a few of the skills that you can specialize in. There's a bunch more rewards. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and this should be the last State of the Realm beta edition because we are nearing launch very closely. So the next State of the Realm that we do, it will be a post-launch version. So the next video you will see from us is likely a launch video with the launch date. So we'll see you guys soon.